and welcome to the Easy Allies podcast. I'll be your moderator, Brandon Jones. Joining me this week, panelists Brad Ellis.
Hi.
Michael Huber.
Hi.
And my soon-to-be-on-vacation co-moderator, Daniel Blitmer.
Hi.
Nice. Making it all happen in the control room, Isla Hink.
Hi.
I know what you're thinking. Hi, everybody. I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute. Those are the people that are on the podcast last week. This is a week-old episode that's been sitting in the can waiting for you, our patrons on December 24th, and our public audience watching the ad version on December 26th. Hope you had some happy holidays.
So technically, Blood's on vacation right now when you're watching this.
Oh, yeah.
In a hot tub.
Congratulations, Blood. Yeah.
Probably not.
You in a hot tub, Blood?
I don't know anyone with a hot tub.
Future you in a hot tub?
My brother's been working on getting the pool ready though.
Hey,
So
heated pool?
Yeah.
no, I don't. Well, I don't know.
We'll begin our new opening segment in 2022, Blood's Hot Tub update.
Just
Nice.
pics of
We'll
blood in
see.
the hot tub.
That's your goal for next year. Distinguished guests. We are here to celebrate our community, answer their questions, play their games, and maybe talk about some video game characters and news. Before we get into any of that, it is time for the Starring Role Awards. Now, thanks to Daniel Bloodworth and, of course, all the Easy Allies that have been on this podcast this year, or in the last couple months, we have saved Hollywood. We have had several films that are in danger of going under, and because it is just the way it had to be, we filled those roles, and in some cases, spaceships and vehicles with video game characters. And now we need to decide who is the best of the best. Blood has divided this up into 7 categories. Best special effects, best supporting actor, best actor in action, best actor in comedy, best actor in drama, best musical performance, and best actor in horror, which of course has how many?
It has the most, yeah.
Of course. 4, 5, 6, 7, I think. Horror nominations. Starting with best special effects. And the nominees are Ori as E.T. in E.T., The Normandy as the Millennium Falcon in Star Wars, and Mother Brain as the Borg Queen in Star Trek First Contact. What had the best special effects out of those three?
Mother Brain, probably.
That's what
It's
I
gotta
was
look
thinking.
pretty
Because
good.
they did a lot of practical stuff with the people in that. So big practical Mother Brain would be sick.
Big
Wow.
giant mother
Yeah.
brain. Making the queen alien look
Yeah.
like nothing.
Ori is interesting because Ori is just like a glow. Like it's hard to even define Ori's features sometimes. You look at everything.
Just a little
Are
glowy
you,
thing.
are you furry or what are you?
For best supporting actor, Morden Solis as Doc Brown in Back to the Future, Otacon as Samwise Gamgee in Lord of the Rings, Peppy Hare as Yoda in The Empire Strikes Back, or Rapidash as Shadowfax
What was the
in
first
The
one
Lord of
again?
the Rings: The Two Towers. Morden Solis as
Yeah.
Doc Brown in
I
Back
love
to
it.
the Future.
I love it. I'm obsessed with it. It's already iconic.
Oh, that guy.
I'm so obsessed with that one.
The little alien guy from Mass Effect.
Yeah,
For
that's
people
hilarious.
who don't know the
Legitimately-
name Morden Solis.
It's legitimately such good casting. It's so good.
It does
we go.
fit. Followed by the middle one that we all laughed at.
Otacon as Samwise Gamgee.
Otacon is-
Otacon as Samwise is so good.
Otacon and Rapidash take that movie places. For best actor in an action film, Max Payne as John Wick in John Wick 4, Bayonetta as the Bride in Kill Bill, Joel Miller as Indiana Jones in Raiders of the Lost Ark, HK-47 as the T-800 in Terminator 2 Judgment Day,
Oh, shit.
and Mario as Owen Grady in Jurassic World Dominion.
Oh my god. That's cursed. That one's so cursed.
I love Owen Grady. Like, who? Oh, right.
Yeah, nobody knows that character's name.
the joke. Yeah. Max Payne, Bayonetta, Joel is Indy, HK-47 is the Terminator,
Joel, Last of Us
or
Joel?
Mario
Yeah.
from yeah.
I think one of the first two, Bayonetta or
Max Payne.
Max
is
Payne.
feeling pretty good.
Who's he
for
playing?
He already is like
yeah.
Max
John
Payne
Wick,
is
though.
John Wick.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
it's
too
like-
close
Yeah,
already.
it is very
Not
close.
too
Method
different.
acting, honestly.
Yeah.
It's
Same.
like, it's like if John Wick were an alcoholic, then that would be Max Payne.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe Bayonetta
Sure.
Bayonetta
think-
seems good.
I think that's a strong pick.
as the bride.
Bayonetta,
That's
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Hair magic in that movie, dude?
Best actor in a comedy?
Can you
Sorry.
imagine her punching through the coffin with her hair instead of her fingers?
I think that's the second time we've made that reference. It
Oh,
would work-
really?
It would work in both scenes.
Yeah.
I wonder. Best actor in a comedy. Joker from Persona 5 as Ferris Bueller in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Slippy Toad as Jar Jar Binks in Star Wars Episode 1. Riku as Inigo Montoya in The Princess Bride. Slippy Toad as Katie Heron in Mean Girls.
Wait, do we have 2 Slippies?
Yes.
We have Slippy and Peppy.
Peppy.
Oh no, Slippy as Jar Jar and
Yeah.
Slippy as Katie Heron.
Yeah,
Wow,
Slippy.
what a year, Slippy. Good job.
Slippy.
King Hippo as Scott Farkas in Christmas Story. And Gex as Austin Powers.
I don't want Gex.
I love Slippy.
As
Well,
Jar
which
Jar
Slippy?
or
As Jar
as-
Jar.
Jar Jar.
Slippy as Jar Jar is pretty.
Probably less annoying, so sure.
Probably less annoying.
Everybody talks
the
about
last
like,
time you played Star Fox 64.
Last month?
Yeah.
Yeah. When was the last time you watched Phantom Menace, Blood?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Why don't you give another spin? Come back to me after that.
Dude,
I watched it recently.
Raul Cooley and Bruce Green and Jacob did a thing where they like read through the Star Wars things, but Raul Cooley and those guys, they know it so well, they were doing it from memory, and anytime they got a line wrong, they had to drink. Pretty wild. Pretty wild stuff. Check it out.
Best actor in a drama. Tom Nook as Anton Chigurh in No Country for Old Men. Chigurh. James Sunderland as Benjamin Willard in Apocalypse Now.
God.
Nico Bellic as Walter White in Breaking Bad.
Oh.
Old Snake as Sean Maguire in Good Will Hunting. That is the Robin Williams part. Andrew Ryan as Daniel Plainview in There Will Be Blood. No Country for Old Men and There Will Be Blood, competing yet again.
Yeah.
The
And
never-ending
Duke
battle.
Nukem as Doc Holliday in Tombstone.
No, he's getting a Razzie for that, actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a Razzie.
Okay.
Duke got the Razzie.
I'm feeling
It's like, no, dude.
Yeah, baby.
No, Duke.
I will reread these. Tom Nook in No Country, James Sunderland in Apocalypse Now, Nico in Breaking Bad, Old Snake in Good Will Hunting, Andrew Ryan in There Will Be Blood, and Duke. Oh, sorry, Duke's
like
getting the.
He's Nico.
Tom Nook as
I
Anton
love it.
Chigurh is crazy.
Yeah,
I love it.
like the unhinged but like also hinged energy
Yeah,
that Tom
yeah.
Nook would give off.
Yes.
Like
absolutely.
Tom Nook murdering people. That is so intense.
Like the shot of Tom Nook's feet as he moves them so the pool of blood doesn't get on his shoes.
What is the? Doesn't he pay the kid for the shirt at the
Yeah,
end? Doesn't he
then-
give
yeah,
him money?
but-
Just pulling out like bells.
Because
Gets the shirt.
his bone is sticking through his arm. Yeah.
Best musical performance. Some of these are surprising, because I know that these have musical performances in them. Waluigi as Scrooge in A Muppet Christmas Carol.
They do now.
Dante as Ash Williams in Evil Dead 2. Or Bayonetta as the Bride in Kill Bill. Getting 2 awards, potentially.
What was the first one?
Waluigi as Scrooge in A Muppet Christmas
I
Carol.
mean, that's
pretty great.
You there, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's pretty great.
What day
What
is
day
it?
is it?
Yeah, that's
I
good.
didn't miss it. Wahaha.
And finally, Best Actor in Horror. It's a doozy. Chris Redfield as R.J. McCready in The King. Or in The Thing, The King. Is it McCready? R.J. McCready in The
McCready.
Thing. Mr. X as Jack Torrance in The Shining. Dante as Ash Williams in Evil Dead 2. Vivi as Chucky in Child's Play.
Oh.
Albert Wesker as Freddy Krueger in Nightmare on Elm Street. Cortana as Sidney Prescott in Scream. And Trevor Phillips as Hannibal Lecter in The Silence of the Lambs. What a year.
What
What a
was
year
the
for
first
film.
and the
What was the
last?
first one?
Chris Redfield as McCready.
Yeah, it's between that and the last one for me.
Same.
Trevor Phillips as Hannibal
First
Lecter.
or last.
Yeah.
First or last.
Let me just sell this on you real quick.
Yeah.
Being trapped in a hotel with Mr. X, you ain't getting away.
But like, like Mr. X is gonna pull up to the Overlook with like his wife and
Right.
kid,
Yes.
and just like
Yes.
We're
In
here.
the car. He's
Yeah.
going to interview
like what the
on the other
hell?
side of the tip.
Yeah, they're breaking boundaries, man.
Like Mr. X like trying to work, trying to like type.
Yes.
Just
Yeah,
like,
can
"Ah."
you imagine? Yeah,
He
at
just
the bar,
smashes the kid.
getting wasted. Yeah.
There's no arc there though. Like he starts on him.
It's
Yeah,
true. It is a
yeah.
bit. It
He's
is a
like
bit
not
monotone.
So it just
capable.
depends on his programming.
Yeah.
I get. He can't talk. Really.
They got programmed too.
What do you think, Blood? You want to be a tiebreaker on this? What do you think? Chris Redfield, Mr. X, Trevor Phillips?
Trevor as Hannibal is hilarious.
I think I am leaning towards
Trevor as a cannibal was like too believable already, though.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
He might
He's
actually.
probably
It
dabbled.
would have to be a great performance because Hannibal is so in control.
that's true.
Yeah.
Trevor always
Right.
seems
He's
so
not.
out of control. So
but
it would be
he's like the Joker, though. He's in control from an out-of-control place.
true.
What about Dante and Evil Dead?
Yeah.
Evil Dead 2.
It's too... He'd be too just, like, regular.
I don't think Dante would ever be like scared or afraid.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
like,
sure.
back.
Yeah.
But, like,
Let's
Trevor, like, pacing around the inside of his cell,
Yeah.
like, jumping on the bed and, like,
Yeah.
saying the things like, Clarice. Like,
Yeah, that's good.
it'd be so funny.
I like the idea that like he doesn't hide in the ambulance. He just starts running in the street. Like he just does it like no subterfuge at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is he? He's outside the building yelling at us. I don't know. What do we do?
Just
Half
wearing
naked.
Underwear the whole movie. Yeah.
Shout out to Mother Brain, Morden Solus, Bayonetta, Slippy Toad, Tom Nook, Waluigi, and Trevor, and Duke for the Razzie.
Sick.
What a wonderful year of video game movie cinema. I guess you can officially call it. It's technically cinema with a video game touch.
That was a great segment, Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks,
good
bud.
job,
Shout out,
Blood.
Blood. Shout out. Shout
Shout
out.
out. I got a little news for you.
Oh,
What do you think about that? I got some news on this Love and Respect episode of the Easy Allies podcast.
Okay.
Because
Some old news.
Well, it's old. It's a week
Oh,
old.
okay.
But you know what still holds up after a week?
what?
The NPDs.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew it right before you said it. It's been so long since I've heard the NPDs.
Shout out to
Jones.
Matt Piscatella.
Yes.
Delivered the NPDs. This is our last opportunity to find out what games sold what throughout the end of the year. Again, you might know of some of these things. I normally get into, Matt does such a good job of pointing stuff out. I want to go directly to the list.
Okay.
Because 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all new. The list that he does always says, not only where is it at right now, but where was it at last month and how much has it changed. These are 4 brand new games.
Okay. I got Call of Duty,
Yes, number 1.
Battlefield.
Number 2.
Halo?
No, not yet.
Biggest media franchise in the world.
Pokemon.
That's a good guess.
Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, number 3.
Wow.
What was number 4?
Number 4.
Brand new in November. Forza.
Forza.
Does
Forza.
New World
Yeah,
count?
Horizon
Oh,
5.
Forza. Yeah.
But we knew that. We talked about that on the podcast, actually. Microsoft made sure we knew that immediately. Set a new Forza franchise launch month sales record.
Launch Munch.
Launch
Launch
month.
month.
Watch.
Now I'm hungry. Including both Forza Horizon and Forza Motorsport titles, while ranking as the 4th best-selling game of November 2021. Forza Horizon 5 was the 3rd best-selling game on Xbox platforms in the month. So interesting. Wasn't number 1.
Even with Game Pass.
It'd be interesting to see, yeah, which is
That's wild.
usually such a value. It'll be interesting to see how Halo does compared to that. How do you feel about Battlefield winding up at number 2?
Huge name.
Huge
Not
franchise.
a lot of people don't pay attention to reviews.
feels
Yeah,
like-
a lot of people just
well,
jump right in.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Second
Well, I mean,
on
there couldn't
PlayStation
been a lot
and
of
Xbox.
reviews at that
No.
as well.
Correct.
So.
I mean, I personally know people that jumped into the $100 edition
Holy
and
moly.
regretted it. Big time.
6th best-selling game of the year to date.
Wow.
What do you foresee financially for the future of Battlefield, regardless of what?
Financially.
I think it's gonna be
Are they going to get bigger, or are they going to?
So usually my
plateau and fix
stance
stuff?
my stance is always any new game in a series is going to be the highest selling of all time because that's the era we are currently living in. I don't know if Battlefield 2042 is going to do that, but it's already turning a corner. I already see the sentiment of like, yo, there's a lot of problems, but when you actually play, it's a lot of fun. So the narrative is turning, but I don't think it's going to be on par with some of the older ones in the series. But I think it'll be healthy and fine for the next couple years at least.
This is the what consecutive year that I love this. Call of Duty Blank debuted as November's best-selling game, instantly becoming the 2nd best-selling game of Blank to date. Like you could just fill in
How many years? has it been?
Vanguard in 2021. But how many years consecutively have they done that?
13
Showed
or
up and just won the
something?
year. Boom.
13,
Like that day.
12, something like that.
14.
14, yeah.
14
Yeah,
years.
because 2007 would have been Modern Warfare.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when did that game come out?
Yeah.
That's it.
That was, that was the hit.
Call of Duty.
The one the year before wasn't a slouch either, because Call of Duty 2 was like launch title with 360.
Well, there was 3 though, wasn't there? 3 was a console only, I think.
Call of Duty. Oh, you're right. Yeah,
There's,
so
like,
Call of
Big
Duty
Red
3 was
one.
2006. 2005 was Call of Duty 2, and Big Red 1 was on
Yeah.
last gen. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about just more reason of why that is. Like I think of Mario Kart and I think of Call of Duty. And to like be semi-reductive, it's like both of those games have 2 buttons: gas and brake, aim and shoot. At a very bare, like the basic entry minimum. So I just think they're so accessible to jump into, for like people of all skill levels. It's not like we were playing GTA Online, Jones, and it's like so much of like, what is that?
Oh my
Like,
goodness, that
what
was
is, Destiny 2, you go in, you're just like inundated with menus, and all these things.
abilities.
And it's like Call of Duty, go in, aim, shoot, aim, shoot, aim, shoot. Like you could be away from Call of Duty for a decade and come back in and immediately be comfortable and know how to play.
The thing that's so surprising to me, though, is that the most popular games are all multiplayer games. Because, like, for me, like, I burn out on multiplayer experiences pretty quickly. But obviously, that's not the majority. Like, most people just keep doing it. They love it. It's pretty interesting to me.
Yeah.
I go
You said
where my
gas and
friends
brake
are.
for Mario Kart? Nobody pushes
I
brake.
know,
That's gas and shoot.
just
Gas
gas and
and
shoot,
item.
gas
Yeah,
and
yeah.
shoot, gas and shoot. Yeah. Totally. But like just so easy to like get the basics. So easy to just like play.
Do you think the 1 and the 2 on this list of Call of Duty, Vanguard, and Battlefield, coming in those top 2 spots for November, what does that do to like people that want Battlefield to polish up a little bit and people that want Activision to change? Is that kind of like a killing blow? Not necessarily a killing blow.
No.
But is that
Like Brad said,
Is that hard to
so
see,
many
or
people
is that
don't even
like-
pay attention to that?
Yeah, I
It's-
mean,
yeah.
Vanguard's selling worse than most Call of Duty games already.
Yeah.
They've said so. I mean, it could still be number 1, but it could still sell less than its past games. So yeah, Activision is gonna pay attention to that.
This is true. Number 4 on the list. Number 5. Number 4 last month. Madden NFL 22. Mario
Wow.
Party Superstars.
Yeah, a good Mario
Whoa.
Party.
Sick.
Number
Nice.
6.
That-
Nice.
And that's physical only.
Hell yeah.
For physical and full game digital from the Nintendo eShop, PlayStation, Steam, and Xbox platforms for publishers and the digital leader panel.
Honestly,
$10
my
sales.
favorite Mario Party
Wait,
in a
It says
decade.
eShop,
Yeah, what?
but
Is
physical
Nintendo?
and full game digital from the Nintendo eShop, PlayStation, Steam, and Xbox platforms.
Oh,
That's
okay.
weird. Nintendo doesn't usually report digital.
They don't. Get mad on the phone. Number 7 was number 7 last month. Licensed game.
Spider-Man.
Close. Spider-Man's on this list. Miles Morales is number 13.
Guardians?
Guardians.
Oh yeah,
Guardians.
Guardians. Yeah.
Top
Nice.
10.
The Guardians.
Good.
Same spot. 2 months in a row.
Good game.
Game Awards maybe helped a little bit.
Oh,
That,
sure.
You know,
I think word
mean-
of mouth helped this game a lot.
Yeah.
I wonder, if sales are going to bump after the Game Awards win.
Oh, for
Good
sure.
example of like expectations. Not a lot of expectations going into that game, and then just the word of mouth is only positive.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this game's great. Just like really fascinating to look at expectations and hype and
Well, there's also, after the Game Awards, like my PlayStation Dash, just like, boop, there's a Guardians background right there when you open it.
sick game.
FIFA just moving up, I guess. No, FIFA dropping from 6 to 8. Far Cry 6 dropping from 1. They debuted to number 9. And NBA 2K22 wrapping up the top 10. Just Dance dropping to 11. Oof, new on the list. 11. Couldn't even make the top 10 coming out of
Yeah,
launch.
NBA still doing so well. Just like you want to talk about bad business practices, like you could have a whole podcast about NBA 2K, just the casinos and the slot machines and
same
the
thing with FIFA.
wheels, and FIFA, and it's just like if those keep selling as well they do, like Ubisoft's going to NFTs, but at least like Call of Duty launched with like a lot of stuff in it. It's
Sure.
not microtransaction pay to win shit. So it's interesting.
Mario Kart 8 had to be edged out of the 11th spot to 12
my
to make room
gosh.
for Just Dance.
Wow.
Miles Morales still kicking ass. Number
Nice.
13, which feels great. Bumped up, actually.
Holidays.
From 17th spot.
Yeah.
Christmas game.
It is.
Yeah.
The definitive Christmas game. Miles Morales, the best of all
It kind
time.
of is now, yeah.
Animal Crossing, hanging out there, was 15 last month, 14 this month. Back 4 Blood dropping from 2 to 15. But I'm still happy it's still there. I'm still happy that Back
Right.
4 Blood.
Still
I could have
sold
seen
well.
that be
Yeah.
just way off the list. Number 16, brand new. Came out in November. Got to admit, I'm happy to see it on this list. I did not know how it was one of those things where it's like all these franchises doing real good this year. This is one of those. Is this franchise just going to return to people that love it, or is this really, really dense, really long RPG
SMT5.
franchise
How many-
going to
10
find a new audience? Yep.
Whoa.
Beating out Minecraft, Breath of the Wild, Smash Ultimate, and Ghost of Tsushima. Coming in fresh at number 16.
Way to go, SMT5.
Biggest You always say it's like all these new franchises.
Highest
best
Every
chance
time a
ever.
game comes out, everyone's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get in it now." It's like there's always more people to
people than
play
ever.
the new. Yeah.
Yeah.
Switch
jumped in on this
Switch
one.
has some magic too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like all these franchises, like Metroid. It's like best-selling Metroid
Yeah.
just
Obviously.
because it's on the Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Highest launch month dollar sales of any Shin Megami Tensei
Yeah.
title in the history of the
course.
series.
Well, what was the
And
last
number
one,
6
3DS?
on Nintendo platforms.
4 was 3DS?
Return of Samus. Yeah, I don't think it.
No. Shin Megami.
Oh,
I think it was 3DS too.
yeah, I don't know for sure.
And, like,
but I think
Nocturne
so. Yeah,
for PS2.
PS2 game. Yeah. They had the Nocturne remake last year as well.
which was extremely
Or this year, I
expensive.
guess.
It is now time for love and respect. Hey now. Easy.
Love and respect.
Rufus is like, I'm seeing Spider-Man at 2 a.m. I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
All right. Rufus, let's do it.
2:10 a.m.
From Kristen G. Rosario. Holiday greetings, allies. I wrote this question to ask you about personal convention traditions. As you're reading this, I will be at Holiday Matsuri, an annual holiday-themed anime convention in Orlando, Florida.
Wow.
Think waifus with Santa hats on, and you get the general idea. Before the world ended last year, I would wake up early Saturday morning at the hotel where Holiday Matsuri was being held, get ready for the day, go downstairs to the hotel's breakfast area. Then I would sit back, relax, eat my breakfast while watching the Easy A podcast, which is probably what I'm doing right now as you read this. I'm honestly happy to be doing this again since it's been so long since I've been to a convention with all my friends, so I can't wait. So my question to you is this. What is your personal convention tradition you do every year, or used to? It could be as simple as something that I like to do, something completely outlandish or different. I hope you have a happy new year, allies. Much love and respect. Your old favorite cons.
Oh, I didn't really go to a
Con
lot of
traditions.
cons.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
interesting 'cause,
just-
like when you talk
No.
about cons, like like almost
I know.
everything I've ever done has
Was
been
for
for
work.
work.
Same. Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Same. I've never.
But in terms of like, sort of an E3 tradition, which I might probably continue, is like rather than paying the whatever, it's probably up to like $40 parking now. I don't know
Yeah.
what the parking that place is anymore. But because I used to live close enough to just walk to E3, so I just park in my own neighborhood and just like enjoy the walk.
I used that trick one time, Blood. I remember I parked in your
I do.
neighborhood
Yeah,
once.
remember that too.
One time.
It's always so hot though.
It's hot.
Don Huber and I have a tradition where the first half of the day we shoot Huber Syndrome together, and then the second half of the day we shoot Easy Update together.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fun.
another
So fun.
Yeah.
Those are long days, but seeing
My God,
bumping
they're
into
very
you
long.
shooting that is always
Yeah.
the best.
Another good one, which has gotten tricky. I'm not sure what the status of it is now, but there was a period of time where they're cracking down on street vendors, and that
Oh,
may be
yeah.
over, or they may have like allowed them through new permits or something. But before all of that crap happened, it used to be the best thing to like just take the half hour out of your day, walk out of the convention center, get yourself a bacon wrapped hot dog
Hell yeah.
from a street vendor, and you just like
Yum.
sit there like on the curb and eat that.
Funny, I've always gone
Good
to the
stuff.
places at LA Live. I've never done that.
That feeling kind of died for me because it's always so annoying for us to get an E3 in recent years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I was
yeah.
like, I'm not leaving if I get in.
Exactly. Yeah. The line set up for things since they let the public in. Just crazy security gates that didn't used to exist. Yeah.
Yep.
I miss Disneyland half marathons, which is not really a convention, but they did do like a fitness thing.
Right.
And it was fun because it wasn't just a half. They would do a half, a 10K. They're always themed around different things. They did a Marvel one, Star Wars one, and then like the official Disney one.
I
Like,
do miss PSX too.
Yeah.
When it was in
PSX.
Anaheim. It's just local for us. That
PSX
was awesome.
was so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad it was the pandemic that shut down PSX. Otherwise, they're going to keep doing it. You know?
Well, I mean,
Their
that's
hands
the
are tied.
thing.
What are they going to do?
It's like I got the invite for GDC, and I'm like, I don't know. Like maybe going to a convention, but not putting my chips in to like put a plane ticket and a hotel room together. Not ready for that much investment this year.
From Brendan Tungate. I was wondering if you ever read, watched, or listened to something outside of gaming that made you further appreciate a game that you liked. This seems like a familiar question. I know we've gotten this before. Research. Or affected the way that you played through a game. I ask this because listening to the Pirate History podcast did both for me. I liked the classic JRPG Skies of Arcadia even more to learn about the likely real-world inspiration behind Vies and Ica. Oh boy. Simon Danziger, I guess is the inspiration. Learning about the formation of the Netherlands led me to picking
I think
the
it's
golden...
Vice.
Vice? Okay. Vice and Ica. Learning about the formation of the Netherlands led me to picking the golden deer in Fire Emblem Three Houses, as that house's country, the Leicester Alliance, is seemingly inspired by the early history of the Netherlands, despite its super English name. And it worked out wonderfully for me. Has that ever happened to you?
I
Like
can't
real
think of
world
anything.
research.
I mean, I'm obsessed
like,
with
wait
lot
a
of
minute.
things, and it like translates to what I like. I don't know. Like
Outside of gaming. Well, I mean, like maybe something in the MCU affected a character you played as in a Marvel game or something.
Like I am fascinated by the Mafia. So like any Mafia things ever, like Mafia games, when the Mafia shows up in games, just like my dad is like a history buff and
it's
just
they
growing
never
up.
do they ever do the real deal? Like do they ever like real gangsters? They're always like made up cities, made up.
Yeah, in Mafia.
Yeah, they never.
Oh, in Mafia.
Yeah.
But yeah, they
Or
had
no, like just in general. Like I can't think
Empire
of
of
the game.
Sin
Empire of
had the
Sin
real
Had the real
was
names?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
had
yeah,
like
cool.
Al Capone and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Oh, neat. Okay, didn't know.
I mean, like, I'm of Norwegian heritage and German heritage, but like my girlfriend is Norwegian, so like that gives me a greater appreciation for Valheim and all the other Norwegian stuff that's going on.
I read some like tie-in books for Mass Effect, and that really helped.
Real world.
Real world.
Yeah, I guess like just real world history. Like I remember when I played Assassin's Creed 3, and like just I was kind of
Oh,
bummed
yeah.
out because like I think that's such a fascinating time period, like the birth of America and everything like that. I'm like, man, this game is just
Yeah, and I went to school in Boston, so going
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
Well, and then
Street
when
by
they did
street,
the
I'm like, I know
weird,
this building.
Like the King Washington DLC,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, we're going off the rails for real
That
now.
one's so unhinged.
That's a good
Unhinged.
point, though. Like having lived in places or going to visit places that,
Yes.
like Fallout, like
Yeah.
having
Watch
visited
Dogs
DC right before playing
GTA
that. I was like,
5.
oh.
Yeah, I definitely had those vibes with Washington in Fallout.
Yeah. Chicago shows up sometimes, and you're like, hey, I know where I am.
Camping is a big deal for me. It's not necessarily something I've learned, but I've just done so much camping and hiking that like any games associated with that. Back for Blood, that one map where we're like in the swamp or something, and then you
Yeah.
come out and there's the like just some campsite that's been annihilated and everyone's gone. But just the sight of like a set up tent just does something to me.
Well, of course, the Tomb Raider rebreather.
The rebreathe. Oh yeah, that's what you learned in real life. Yeah.
I saw that thing in Tomb Raider. I'm like, that doesn't seem like it makes sense. And then I researched it, and I'm like, no, it actually doesn't make any sense. It was a James Bond thing for sure, but no.
I liked Elias Jensen. Every time I see like some bionics or something on Twitter,
Elias
they tweet,
Jensen.
Adam
That's an
Jensen?
interesting.
Yeah. Well, Adam Jensen's name, Elias's name, the voice actor. But somebody tweeted something about bionics, and he like just quote tweeted it with a GIF of just Jensen like smiling. That's the news I like to hear.
Yeah, that was one of the crazy things they did. Like, remember when they had the arm, the actual bionic arm
Yeah.
in the Square Enix booth that year?
Such a Square Enix thing. Why am I not surprised?
And since then, Konami had like a Metal Gear arm that people could get or something like that.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Oh,
Like a
yeah.
prosthetic, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen like the toy version of that too. So I think like I've seen a lot of pictures with people like posing with it, but like I don't know if that was the real one. That would seem a little expensive for a collector's item. From Scott Robertson, Sunday, December 19th marks the 20th anniversary for the North American theatrical release of The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. The trilogy as a whole has been my all-time favorite movies for the last 20 years now. I would love to hear the panel talk about their experiences watching these movies for the first time, and if they had read the books prior to or after the release of the films. I was also a big fan of the tie-in video games from EA, like the hack-and-slash titles, The Two Towers and Return of the King, the turn-based RPG, The Third Age,
yeah.
and the RTS Battle for Middle-earth games. There was always a little something for everyone. What were the Allies' favorite Lord of the Rings games growing up? P.S. My 13-year-old niece Leia, who has already read all of Harry Potter, is currently reading The Hobbit and will be watching The Fellowship of the Ring next month for the first time. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Yeah, Third Age ends with you teleporting to the Eye of Sauron itself and fighting it for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
the
I
Third Age
fell on the floor laughing. I was so great.
The Third Age, like, basically
Quite
that E3 demo just took me out of enjoying Lord of the Rings games for life. It was like there was no way.
Turn-based
at this
co-op.
point-
I played that whole game with a buddy.
Because they like
he did all the healing and I did all the
they
fighting. It was great.
summoned the river in the fight against the Balrog, and I'm like, that's not how magic works here, guys. Like, you can't summon a river
I love how pissed Blood
in
gets
Moria.
about
Yeah.
canon shit in that
Love it.
universe.
Happy to bring it
Love
up
it.
anytime.
But yeah, so I had, Yeah, I had read The Lord of the Rings in like junior high or maybe early high school, but somewhere in there, like 8th, 9th grade, I think. And then I read The Hobbit actually afterwards. And then, so once they started like hyping up the movies and there's like production photos and stuff coming out, I was just like all over it. And like even before the films, like some of my first things on the internet was just like looking through like a lot of the art and stuff.
Oh, cool.
I was like just saving that stuff is to like use as like desktop wallpapers. And some of those same artists ended up working on the visual design of the films. And then when the films were coming out, it was just like, the art, going to the ArcLight, seeing those things in Cinerama Dome.
Yeah.
They had ArcLight actually had the props
Sick.
in the lobbies, so
Totally
it had
do
like
that.
That's cool.
full freaking armor and all of this stuff.
So dope.
Very cool.
Yeah. So it was very sweet. It's an odd thing. I guess I just don't rewatch movies a lot nowadays because I haven't rewatched those films like since I got the extended edition DVDs.
Wow.
Oh, time for rewatch.
Always,
We watched 4K.
Yeah.
Came
Well,
out this
maybe
year.
when I get a 4K TV, then I'll get the 4K set.
You're talking about video games. What's not on this list? Shout out to Lego Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
open world. It's
That's
It's
cool.
like the whole map, and I love it. Because one of the moments I laughed out loud was when they're getting ready to do the travel to Minas Tirith, and Aragorn leaves the crew, and they're like, "Where are you going, man? We got to go to the fight." Like where they're perched, where they're camping, you can see Minas Tirith. It's just like right there.
That's
and they're like, they
funny.
keep talking about like getting ready for the big journey, and it's just like it's such
Right
a
there.
condensed version of that world. It's so funny.
Sorry.
go
ahead.
Well, these came out. Well, I graduated high school in 2003, so that one came out after I graduated, I guess, but because it was December. But I worked at the movie theater in my town,
Ooh.
so that was just the fun energy of. I mean, I saw these in theaters multiple times, but like, just the excitement of everyone coming in and stuff. It was crazy, and like the huge cardboard standees that we had, you could like hide in them. You could, like, it was like a fort. So good.
My experience with this series is my parents were big fans of them, especially my dad. And I read The Hobbit when I was younger, but I really grew up mostly a lot watching the animated versions of the
Yeah.
movies, like
Right.
The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings one's like weird. And there's no Two Towers and Return of the King.
Right.
So I remember I believe I was playing Midnight Club 1 with a friend. Then we went to go see Fellowship of the Ring.
So dope.
And Two Towers with them. And I remember Return of the King I saw with you. You were anti-Lord of the Rings for a little while.
For a little while, yeah. Took me
then,
a while to get into it.
then he got into it.
I was like a young teenager. I didn't really had no experience with it. None of my
Yeah.
family members liked it. My dad and my brother specifically don't like fantasy. So like fantasy was all my eventual doing with
Yeah.
my
Well, I
love.
mean,
Because my
Lord-
dad's big into sci-fi, but like him and my brother are just like not into fantasy at all.
Yeah, I mean, Lord of the Rings turned that around for
Yeah.
the film industry. Before
Yeah.
that, like fantasy really was not treated with a whole lot of respect, and
Yeah.
and it's partly that they didn't want to invest in the special effects for it.
Yeah,
And so things
Beastmaster did
always
not get
look
the
silly.
respect it deserved back in the day.
Beastmaster is so
It's weird because I grew up and like
I love
loved
Beastmaster.
Labyrinth.
Why did I connect it on Beastmaster? That made my night.
Well, even these movies were like a Hail Mary pass by
Yeah.
a failing film company. Like they were like, sure, Peter Jackson, B movie director, take a bunch of money and make these movies. We're going out of business. We don't care. And then it just like hit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love the Return of the King game. It's 10
Return of
out
the King is
Oh yeah,
is probably the
Two
best
Towers,
game on
Return
this
of the
list.
King,
Yeah.
man. I'd like Third Age. That was fun.
Oh, it's fun. Yeah, I cackled because
Yeah. It's goofy as hell,
it's,
but it was
uh,
fun.
All of
Turn-based-
their behind the scenes stuff in those DVDs.
Oh,
Hours.
Just
So
the
good.
stories about how that
Yeah.
stuff is made is just
Best in the biz
amazing.
Best
behind
in
the
the
scenes
biz.
stuff. And
Best in the biz.
Yeah.
Best in the biz.
From Mellow Fellow, what's a minor detail in a video game that would usually go unnoticed, but you appreciate the developers took the extra time to put it in? For me, in Yakuza Like a Dragon, the walk animation going up and down stairs caught me off guard by how damn good it feels. Mm-hmm. Just played the GTA trilogy. The going upstairs does not feel good. That game. But speaking of GTA, I remember when GTA 5 came out, and it was just the laundry list of like one that just jumps to mind is if your lights are off in your car and you drive to an intersection, the car on the other side of the intersection will flash its brights. Like your lights are off.
That's
just
cool.
There's 150 of those things. I'm just you're like, wait, what? Like Trevor changes the station if he doesn't like it.
Yeah.
It's just like lots of little.
1 million of those in Rockstar games
Yeah.
for sure.
I really like. It's more and more commonplace now, But I really like when characters, like Uncharted and Last of Us are good at these, but like if they go near a wall, they'll like put their hand on it
Yeah, I noticed that
as
in
they
Metroid
pass.
Dread.
In
Yeah.
Metroid Dread, she does it like just little things like that, like character animation stuff. Inside has really amazing character animation.
Yeah.
Little things like that I notice. Yeah.
I appreciated when Link was left-handed. I was a
Oh,
big fan
yeah.
of that. Then they just abandoned it. I was like, cool.
That's messed up.
One of the few left-handed characters in
Yeah.
games. It's like, all
You're
right, cool.
left-handed? You're left-handed, Brad?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I'm left and right hand, but mostly left.
Nice.
Always loved that in Remake 1, when you walk or run, they hold the gun differently. So like if you're walking with Jill, she has it
Oh,
like
sure.
this, but if you run, she like has it up.
Yeah, that's
Always
cool.
loved that.
I mean, detail-oriented storytelling is my favorite thing in games. Like, obviously, Souls games and, like, Outer Wilds and stuff like that. Just, like, when you're rewarded for noticing little things, I really, really appreciate.
Unpacking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I should play that.
That's the whole game.
I haven't played it yet.
You don't recognize anything that's not that. It's literally like every single moment. Just, oh, I know what that means. The game. From Jason Wojnar, what are some regrettable gaming purchases you've had, or purchases you mulled over for months or years before ultimately deciding to pass or buy? I'm thinking of buying a Switch before a long flight home, 13 hours to be exact, but I'm on the fence in the same way I've been about it for 2 years. I even put in an order for one, and when the guy called to confirm, I said, you know what? Never mind.
But
I got one right now. Call of Duty Vanguard. I regret buying it. Fully regret buying it. I was back and forth. I was like, am I going to buy it this year?
You always crumble.
Should I do it? Should I not? I really thought I could escape it this year, and I bought it, got through the campaign, and have only just played a little bit of multiplayer, and I'm just like, shouldn't have bought it. Shouldn't have bought it. Because now if I play it at all, it'll just be Warzone, and that's free.
right.
It's like, why did I buy it this year? Shit. I'm contributing to those NPDs.
Yeah.
You helped with the review.
Number one, baby.
So there you go.
Number
Yeah.
one.
I feel like there's so many games like this that I can't even remember.
I bought The Crew 2 and played it through again, and Blood was like, didn't you play that on Xbox originally? And I'm like, yeah, I did. Thanks, Blood.
I've definitely bought games that I already owned or bought games that we had gotten codes for, like multiple
I think I
times.
played the exact same amount of it, too.
Oh
I think I have
yeah.
a PC and Xbox save of Crew 2 that's
So
like in the
funny.
same spot. Oops.
Oh man.
And I'm just
trying
gonna
to
play Forza
think.
now.
Because I definitely had a Call of Duty story like you were saying. It was like I bought it for like a group stream night,
Yeah.
and we played zombies, and then I like never booted it up again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Mario Golf,
Ooh, great pick. Same.
the
Yeah.
new one.
Same.
I bought it thinking I would love it. Played it for like 20 minutes and then on a stream, and I uninstalled it.
Same thing happened to me.
It's like I don't regret buying any of them, but there's a
Right.
unique type of depression you get when you stare at a rock band instrument or a Guitar Hero instrument. You know, so much promise, so much happiness,
Yeah.
but in its current state, it's just a sad thing to look at.
I got it. Sorry, biggest regret for me was Pokemon Shield.
Pokemon.
Oh, yeah,
just-
Pokemon Sword.
I was like,
not-
Pokemon.
man, why did I buy this?
Yep. Yep.
I have a few like
Yeah.
synth things or whatever that were like transitory, that where it was like I bought a thing to get a case and then I didn't end up needing it.
Right.
So it was like, well, that was $100 I didn't need to spend, whatever.
I want to take a stand right here and now that I won't buy a Pokemon until one of them gets a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
That will be the one I get.
Whoa.
So whenever a Pokemon gets a 10, I'm back in.
So never.
So you're saying there's a chance. From RJ, what do you guys think of wide linear or open linear games? Games like Metro Exodus, Deus Ex, and BioShock have bigger maps than the typical corridor shooters, but not as big as the likes of GTA or Red Dead. These types of games typically have dense maps with lots of world building, immersion, and really good side content. I feel that the Halo Infinite campaign, as much as I love playing that game, didn't really catch my attention because of how big the map is, but it has no variety and almost tedious side content with little or no impact or addition to the overall story. I think Halo can take notes from those games to further improve on its current open sandbox formula. For me, Halo Infinite is the perfect 8 out of 10 game of the year. 8.5 is a bit too generous, 9.10 is a stretch. I'm happy that the game is back on its feet. I hope they add a bit more to it in the future. Big shout out to Ben's review. So what do you think about these? I know Metro Exodus had a big hit with the team.
Love Metro Exodus. I think of Evil Within 2. It's why I love it so much.
Yeah.
Because it has both. there are big sections of the game that are super linear, and they can like craft these really awesome moments. And then there are parts when it's like, okay, you have to get over there, but then between here and there, it's like open world, huge places you can go, side stuff. So I love the balance. So if you can get a good balance of that, that to me is ideal.
Greedfall was a good mix, kind of had KOTOR vibes of how big each of those areas was. So it's like, yeah, I'm running and traveling to places, but like I can still spawn pretty close to where I need to go. And when you explore it the first time, it's fun, and then done. I'll fast travel the rest of the time.
Demon Souls, big levels that are all disconnected.
Yeah, I really do like enjoy level design, and particularly like Souls games and Sekiro and stuff, and just like, you know, and just things to kind of twisting back around themselves, and it's like it's not, like what they're saying. It's like that doesn't feel like necessarily linear, but you do kind of have to go through in a certain order. But then you can find all kinds of different routes to do that. You can.
Yeah, it's not like Elden Ring where it's like a big sprawling map or field, something like that.
Yeah, because I think it's just like, the difference of, like when you just have like something that's just like, all right, you can go any direction you want, and it's just a matter of like going over hills and stuff. Then it just is a different feel than having actually like designed levels.
I think God of War did that well, where like it had that open middle area, but then you spoke out from there.
Fantastic.
It's really good. Open field design.
It was funny because Huber, when I saw that for the first time, I was like, "Whoa, this is probably way smaller than I think it is," but I'm still impressed. Like I had like both those thoughts in parallel. You know, it's like because I could tell like God of War is just a great game that really kind of sets up like here's what you're going to do. You know, there's not a lot of frustration. We're like, what? It's longer or shorter than I thought. Let's rapid fire this. From Mirko de Buell. Hello, dear allies. The past few months have been insanely busy at work. Spending a little free time I have with my girlfriend, there's no time left to play video games. That got me thinking. There are many long-running video game franchises with dozens of games in the series. Going through all of them is very time-consuming. Listed below are a couple of video game franchises. A couple. There's a lot. Let's say one of you would like to try them all, but only has time to try out one game.
Okay.
It's up to the panel to decide if you're going to play only one, play blank. I'm going to do a little spice on this because we want to get through as many questions as we possible. First answer is locked in.
Oh.
For each franchise.
Jeez.
If you got one, shout it,
Okay.
and then that's it.
So you're saying a franchise, and we're saying which entry in that
Which
franchise
entry is
the
the
one to
game
play?
you should play from that
Okay,
franchise?
okay.
First one who shouts it wins. Resident Evil.
Remake 1.
Metal Gear Solid.
Original.
Metal Gear Solid.
All right. Final Fantasy.
7?
Final Fantasy 6.
All right, 7 it is. 14, not getting a nod there. Harsh. The Legend of Zelda.
Ocarina of Time.
Pokemon.
Red and blue.
And blue.
Yeah, Red. Soulsborne.
Bloodborne.
Dark Souls 1.
Bloodborne beat it. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic
1. 2?
Sonic 1 or 2.
Sonic 1 wins.
Yeah.
Mega Man.
Mega Man 2.
Suikoden.
2.
Need for Speed.
Hot Pursuit? Original
yeah.
Hot Pursuit?
Hot
that
Pursuit,
would-
yeah,
that would
OG
be my
Hot
bet.
Pursuit.
Or like
for
New
sure.
Hot Pursuit? Was
Oh,
pretty
too late.
sick.
New Hot
OG
Pursuit, I would say.
New Hot
Pursuit.
Pursuit. Yeah.
It's too late.
Too late.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Tony
Two?
Hawk Pro Skater.
Oh, one
2 or
plus
3?
two.
Three.
1 plus 2.
1 plus 2.
Nope, 2 locked in. He spoke too.
Fuck.
Age of Empires.
2.
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank. Ooh. Ratchet and Clank. Ooh, I don't remember that. I don't remember that one.
Careful.
Ratchet and Clank. Oh fuck.
The
Real-
HD trilogy collection.
Oh, stop.
Correct.
Mm.
Yeah.
Loophole.
Save you some money. Mortal Kombat.
Honestly, like
No, lie to me, Huber.
9, the reboot 9
Yeah.
maybe. Good place to, if you've never played a Mortal Kombat, maybe jump in there.
Prince of Persia.
Sands of Time.
Okay. FIFA. Just kidding. If you played one, you played them all anyway.
1998.
Love and respect from Belgium.
It's fun.
FIFA
one.
98. That's your pick. Nice.
Yeah.
Super
MLB
fun.
98 was my favorite.
Sick.
You know why though, right? Because I've told you this. That my disc was screwed up, so it would play the wrong audio lines at the wrong time.
Nice.
Oh,
that's
So
funny.
like someone would like
so-
step up to the plate and it would go like home run, and then someone would get out and they'd be like Jose Canseco steps up to the plate. It was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
It was so funny.
Oh, I wish you still had that.
I do too.
Oh my god.
And now, a word from our sponsors. With HelloFresh, You get fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Did you pick up on that one? Seasonal recipes. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's at least what I want home cooking to be. And that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. HelloFresh Market has this season's entertaining covered with options like their holiday cheese and charcuterie board and skinny dipped dark chocolate peppermint almonds. Don't forget dessert. Satisfy your sweet tooth with seasonal limited time goodies like ginger spiced cake truffles and cherry cheesecake swirl bars. When you do 2 podcasts back to back and then just start rattling off food names, it's a little rough. Save on average over $65 per month when you order HelloFresh instead of grocery shopping. That's more money to spend on presents and activities. I have sampled HelloFresh. I love HelloFresh. I've even made some of these, which I know, for those of you out there that cook and do a wonderful job of it, shouldn't seem like a big deal, but it was gosh darn a big deal for me. I got some points. When you get points just with the missus, that's one thing. When I got points with the in-laws at the same time, thank you, HelloFresh. And that was around the holidays that happened. Go to HelloFresh.com/allies14 and use code allies14 for up to 14 free meals and 3 free gifts. It's the season of gifting.
Go to HelloFresh. That's what you said. Go to HelloFresh.
Yep. That Doom crossover. That Doom HelloFresh crossover.
Yes.
/allies14. HelloFresh.com/allies14. Use code allies14 for up to 14 free meals and 3 free gifts. You know what? I'll make it work. You know what's hell? Cooking. That's hell. That's honestly hell for me. It's literally just like, hey, can you like make a meal?
Yeah.
That is the scariest, worst thing. If Satan like came over and was like, ha ha, make this. Like, can I make mac and cheese? No.
When we cook dinner, the kitchen is a war zone.
So it's more like, don't go to hell. Go
Right.
to HelloFresh.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
We saved it.
Nailed
We
it.
pulled it out.
This podcast is also sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. We talk about BetterHelp a lot on the show, and this month we're discussing some of the stigmas around mental health. Many people think therapy is for so-called crazy people, but therapy doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It means you recognize that all humans have emotions, and we need to learn to control them, not avoid them. And we've been taught that mental health shouldn't be a part of normal life, but that's wrong too. We take care of our bodies with the gym, the doctor with nutrition, the doctor and nutrition. We should be focusing on our minds just as much. One of the most important things with my history of dealing with my mental health is labeling something, because there's a lot of times where you're like, why do I feel this way? I'm frustrated. I'm have anxiety. I'm sad. I'm happy. It's frustrating not to know what led to that. So when you label something, that's the biggest deal. Like, I actually forgot about that and started remembering that last couple months. I'm like, that helps. Again, it's not like, I've completely solved the problem, but it's just like such a relief to like, I know what's going on. I know why my brain is making those decisions. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp online therapy. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Easy Allies listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/allies. That's BetterHelp.com/allies. Good health starts with good habits. Quip makes it easy by delivering all the oral care essentials you need to care for your mouth. At home we have, I don't know if you have this, I recommend it, it's pretty nice. The little like toothpaste like bar that like slides up the toothpaste tube as you're using the toothpaste. Do you have one of those?
I used to when I was younger, for sure.
Just never used one of those, and I used one in the last couple years. This is helping me get every last drop of the super tasty Quip toothpaste that we've been using that I had in my side. And then all of a sudden, now it's in the middle drawer. Oh, and Amanda's like, I'm like, I worked hard for that toothpaste. And the Quip electric toothbrush is so rad. I play mobile games all the time. And as far as I'm concerned, Quip is a valid mobile game that I'm playing right now, competitively brushing my teeth. It's loved by over 7 million mouths and has timed sonic vibrations with 30-second pulses to guide a dentist recommended 2-minute clean. A lightweight and sleek design, mine is solid black, for adults and kids, with no wires or bulky chargers to weigh you down. A multi-use travel cover that doubles as a mirror mount for less clutter. Reusable handles in a range of sleek metal hues, including best-selling all black and all pink, as well as bright plastic colors to make a pop to your bathroom counter. Way on top of that compared to Sony. You know, Sony taking forever to get the color options.
The pulses are fun. I love the pulses. They time out the brush. Sophia will be brushing her teeth for like 6 minutes. And like the other day, I was just like, use the pulses. It's telling you when to change quadrants. Anyway, sorry.
Abide by the pulses.
Follow the rules.
With stylish and affordable electric brushes starting at just $25, you won't be paying through the teeth for better oral health.
Oh boy.
I like it.
If you go to getquip.com/allies right now, you will get your first refill free. That's your first refill at getquip.com/allies, spelled GET, and Quip is QUIP. So that's GETQUIP.com/allies. Quip, the good habits company. And if you are a patron of Easy Allies, thank you. Thanks for doing that lighting change. You got to do the lighting change before you cut back to the podcast after the sponsors if it's cut out. You just put the sponsors in, but then the lighting changed. People get that jump cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love jump cuts.
Jump cut.
Podcasts, they don't work as well as you think they would. From Scott Krefitz. While I was ecstatic to see that Persona 4 Arena Ultimax is getting re-released next year, its list of platforms, PC, PlayStation, and Switch, continues to show a trend of big Japanese publishers deciding to skip Xbox versions for their smaller games. Square Enix put out Neo: The World Ends With You on PC, PlayStation, and Switch earlier this year, had two of its more experimental games in Voice of Cards and Dungeon Encounters match that, and even added iOS and Android to that list for Saga Frontier Remastered, but nothing for Xbox. Capcom is happy to ship RE Village on Xbox, but Great Ace Attorney Chronicles? Only on PC, PlayStation, and Switch. There have been louder than usual rumors this year about Microsoft buying Sega Atlas, but Persona 5 Strikers and the SMT 3 HD Remaster? PC, PlayStation, Switch. I feel Microsoft has done a great job with Japanese third parties in the last several years, but what's going on here? You'd think that these smaller games would be the ones that need the most install base to have a chance, and yet it almost seems like companies are going out of their way to do everything but the Xbox. Should Microsoft be making a priority to bring smaller games like this to Game Pass?
I mean, I don't know what the process is, but I assume they're not on there because they don't have a history of selling on those platforms compared to the other ones. So they probably don't even bother.
Who do you think's hanging up the phone? Do you think Phil's like, come on, let's do it?
Oh, I'm
They're
sure
like, no,
Phil
we're just not going to
wants,
sell.
Yeah,
or-
I'm sure he wants all those games on
Well,
there.
but yeah, Xboxes have historically not sold well in Japan, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. There's not a market in Japan at all, and that may be the main.
Yeah, I mean,
probably
Final Fantasy
it.
14 is not on
but-
Xbox still.
And then PC is actually kind of a newer thing
Yeah,
for these companies. And they're seeing a lot of success, particularly Sega.
Yeah.
So you seeing more and more, like even put out a statement earlier this year.
Capcom did.
Yeah.
Who do you think the Game Pass deal isn't working out for in this case? Is this a Microsoft saying it's not worth it for us, or is
this
this
isn't even
Atlas
Game
saying-
Pass.
This isn't Game
No, I'm
Pass.
saying why not though? Why wouldn't it just be on Game Pass? Who is blocking that?
Well, I guess it'd be if they pitch the game to Microsoft or whatever. If Microsoft is interested in the game, it just depends
Right.
on each game.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
Like Microsoft clearly went after like Tales of Arise.
Yes,
Yeah.
they did. I mean, Tales had some exclusive Xbox game for a while,
Vesperia
Yeah.
hype,
Yeah.
for sure.
and the whole 360 era of
Yeah.
some JRPGs, but didn't work out for them. They just Japanese games like that don't have quite the history of selling that platform compared to others.
Has PC been
PC's
a newer
grown a lot.
adopter lately?
Yeah,
Was
yeah,
that something
yeah.
that didn't necessarily
PC,
happen?
yeah,
then?
definitely has grown a lot more compared
Yeah.
to.
NS America, I think, is putting out more
Yeah,
PC stuff as
definitely,
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I am just baiting corrections, but hey, I don't get those till next year.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, that's not true.
terrifying.
We have one more episode. Yeah, I wonder if. I think it's these companies saying no to Phil. I think it's them.
Probably.
Not wanting to make the jump.
I wonder if they even think to ask.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Like, I don't think
I'd love
anyone's
to
saying
know.
no. I
Right.
think they just don't think to ask.
But specifically, I think Phil said something this year. I think he was like, "Yes, I'm interested in Japan." I don't know if it was at
They
TGS
say
or
that
something. I think
every
there was like,
time. Every console that comes out, they're like, yeah, Japan. But
What CEO is going to say, no, I'm not
Yeah.
interested in this
like
untapped
they
market?
want those games on their platform, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I'm not sure what the deal is.
From Andy Schreiner. Going to ask a bit of a downer here. Have you ever played a game that you knew was good, but circumstances outside the game were causing you not to enjoy the experience overall? Personal example. I purchased Fire Emblem 3 Houses a few weeks ago before my daughter was born about a year ago. I planned on it being my quick pick to play in between naps, feedings, diaper changes in the early days of fatherhood. But unfortunately, my daughter had complications after birth that required a 3-week stay at the hospital. My wife and I couldn't do anything but wait with no visitors allowed because of COVID. We had a ton of downtime, which I did spend playing 3 Houses. Between everything going on, I just couldn't get myself to enjoy this game despite the game's good storytelling and gameplay mechanics, and I was just thinking about picking it up again. Screams bad vibes. Has this ever happened to you? Sorry for being a downer. If it helps, my daughter just celebrated her first birthday and is super happy and healthy. Love and respect.
I don't know. I have like bad memories associated with certain games, like just what was going on in my life. But I don't think I'd ever write them off completely. I'm like, I'm never gonna revisit that thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't fairly judge Sekiro because I played it while I was home with my dad while he was on hospice. So like, taking care of your dying dad and then going to play Sekiro, it's like
It's pretty intense.
not gonna happen. And like, I tried replaying it again, and I was just like, nah, I can't. It's a good game. I beat it, but yeah, the magic was not there for me.
The last game my brother ever played was Spider-Man, so it's kind of tough to like Miles Morales. Just tough.
Yeah.
Just tough.
The two of them in their relationship as well. That's bonds for sure. Yeah, I'm trying. I can't think of like a life event, but it's just like there's so many audiobooks or like weird movies or something I would watch while doing something, and then I'll go back to play the game and be like, whoa, like this game is that book. Like I can hear it. And good to hear that your daughter's doing well.
Yeah.
I was very afraid of that beginning
same.
of that story. I was
Same.
like, oh God.
Didn't go back to the hospital, but had the kid and couldn't get him out of the hospital for a while. That took a bit. From Brandon Ray, Microsoft recently revealed their latest Game Pass additions for December, but also shared some of the Yakuza games will be leaving the service. I had previously played up to Yakuza 4 prior to this announcement before getting sidetracked with other games. But after realizing that the other games may soon leave as well, I've switched my focus back to Yakuza and intended to finish the series before it leaves Game Pass. Have you ever experienced a similar situation where an announcement or reminder causes you to completely pivot and reprioritize your gaming backlog? The Contract from Grand Theft Auto Online. Like, oh, there goes my Wednesday.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah, happened just yesterday.
I try. I mean, just reviews and work stuff. Trying to get caught up in 14.
Yeah,
for
always getting sidetracked
for
like
work
that.
and stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm always playing what I want to play. That's why I'm replaying things all the time.
yeah.
Like I try to avoid the feeling of obligation as much as possible because it should be for enjoyment and entertainment and for fun. When you start putting like deadlines and obligations, like I need to get through this, it's like playing it for the wrong reasons at that point.
Well, that
It's
was the
like-
thing. I was like up late the other day, or actually twice this week, because once before the Forza stuff, that was, wanted to hit all of that stuff before it ran out, and then the same thing with like the Halo challenges. They were like, "There's 2 hours left," and like,
I didn't.
okay.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not enjoying this. As soon as I felt that I was not enjoying it for a second, I was like, all right, I'm done.
Well, that's when I got to that when they gave me the last one, it was like, oh, get 15 kills with headshots, and like, I'm going to bed. It's like, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try to get that in the next 2 hours.
Yeah, that's been me with Life is Strange, True Colors. It's like, I need to play this game, but I really don't want to right now.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm gonna play Devil May Cry 1.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Do it.
Yeah, there have definitely been like dramatic games that I'm just like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Not in the headspace
Or something
for
that I know is really hard.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, God, I just had a hard day. Why do I want to?
Yeah, well,
Time to challenge myself.
sometimes it's hard for me to just like start a new game. It's like it's easier for me to go back and do some of those like Forza dailies or
Yeah, totally.
jump
Like-
into Animal Crossing or something like that. Than to get into
'Cause starting a
learning
game can
all new
feel
mechanics and
like-
stuff. Yeah,
A big task, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's a lot.
especially if you feel like you don't have a lot of time, even though you probably will end up
Yeah.
spending more
Yeah.
time with whatever.
I've definitely had that feeling.
From Alexander Zirianov. Recently, while playing Apex Legends, I heard this announcer's voice line. Last squad standing means they win this round, and they did it doing what they love best, eliminating their friends, confidants, and some might say family, until none of them were left. Happy holidays. At first, I just laughed, but after hearing it a few more times, I've realized how true is this for any character-based PvP game, and how little attention we pay to this narrative dissonance. Somehow, we simultaneously wish all the best to our favorite heroes and are eager to annihilate their loved ones who happen to be picked by the opposing players. It got me thinking that this is one of the reasons why storytelling in PvP games never has the same impact as in the best single-player experience. Do you think it's possible to create a character-based PvP game in which heroes that should not be fighting lore-wise do not battle each other in gameplay?
It can, but then that'll create a balancing nightmare if they're really different, I guess.
Well, I
And-
mean, the way that people have done that in the past is they just reskin, like, whoever you're fighting, the enemy's always the enemy, even though you're playing as Ezio
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah. But that's still like is a disconnect for me because I know
Right.
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
changes it.
Everybody's the same character,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
I was
Zirianov has
thinking
brought
of-
to attention how good the VO is in Apex, like how much they say based on who, not only just the other character, but what they're saying is based on their whole relationship and history, and that's evolving.
Yeah, Overwatch used to do that. Or,
I was
don't know
thinking
if they
about
still do.
this with Halo the other day, where I was like, these are all Spartans killing each other. That doesn't happen, right? In the story?
What you
Like,
said it's
Right.
like training?
Yeah,
It's
it's,
like
a live
training.
fire
Is it a
training
training
session.
one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Training.
okay.
Yeah,
So
when
you're
you
not
do
really
the
killing each other?
Get
when
hit
you
by a
do the
car.
tutorial,
Training.
it all
Yeah.
kind of like sets it up. You know.
Yeah.
The teabagging, training.
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 It's just training.
Okay, I forgot that. I've done that, obviously, but
So the
And
question.
you respond, obviously.
The
too.
question is what multiplayer.
If you and I were
games-
playing a multiplayer game and Hawkeye went to kill Black Widow, you'd be like, well, wait a minute. You'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Wouldn't Black Widow be like, hey, Clint? And it's like, how do you bring that storytelling to multiplayer, or is it just impossible?
I mean, I feel like the next test is going to be The Last of Us Factions. That to me is going to be the multiplayer game that has the potential to have
Right.
legitimate narrative storytelling
Yeah.
in a multiplayer deathmatch setting. So all of my hopes, like for them, like I have such high hopes for that it will evolve
Yeah.
multiplayer.
It'd be
but is that sides? That's not like characters, is it? Or I don't know.
I mean, it'll probably just be like fireflies or like
right.
yeah. Will
Because
there
like
be-
you can have the Allies versus the Nazis or whatever, and like that's
yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I think you're talking about us versus Nazis. I got excited about that game.
no. Well, I mean we are that too.
Fortnite does it well. They just do like time loops. No, it's all a time loop.
I wonder if you could do it after the
You
fact,
know?
where you just allow the characters to do whatever they wouldn't normally do in storytelling. But then, like, when you're loading up the next match,
Yeah.
like a paragraph comes up and it's like, well, like this friendship is certainly over, or whatever. Just some recap of like what happened.
Right.
You're like, yeah.
Well, I think it's the thing. It's like that feels like it just low stakes, right? Like it is
Sure.
a training exercise or something
Yeah.
like that, or it is a competition.
Yeah, you could do it.
Rather than
Just low
people
stakes.
actually fighting to the death.
I guess a way you could do it is have everyone be an independent operator. Like, don't have teams. Like, if it's 8 characters and they're all just killers.
Yeah.
Right. But what they're saying though is that like it's not about a team. It's like this person and their friend are on opposite sides.
Right. I guess.
So
the
you have a
answer
story
is
about them
to
being
not
friends.
do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Tricky.
From Zach Wojnar. I'm Zach, and I'm a writer. I'm not super famous or anything, but I've been in magazines and interviewed tons of super famous people. I mean, not a big deal or anything. But when people tell me that I am, I can't disagree.
You're a big deal.
False modesty aside, I've recently switched jobs, and I'm a little torn on it. The pay for both my freelance writing gigs is pretty good, and I'm writing about a variety of topics, but none are video game related. I'm not doing interviews anymore, and my writing has to be a little more by the book, with less of my voice and personality. A side effect of this is that I don't need to keep my finger on the pulse of gaming the same way I used to. Instead of constantly playing new games, I'm diving into the backlog and playing things like Ys 8 and
Nice.
Final Fantasy 15, and even replaying stuff like the PS4 remaster of Borderlands. I'm even taking to streaming, not that anyone watches, of course, exclamation point. Go watch Zach Wojnar.
Yeah, I want to watch.
Give us that, yeah. Give us the link, bro. And I'm really enjoying the chance to tackle gaming at my own pace. If the opportunity came up to write about games again, I'd take it in a heartbeat, but I'm pretty happy with my gaming habits right now. My question is, are you? Especially right now. I know you're under lots of stress to play as many GOTY contenders as possible. Do you feel like you get to play games you want to play, or are you stuck with the games you have to play? Or is the breakneck pace part of the thrill? While they sometimes seem tired, I sense Ben and Huber get a thrill out of jumping from one review to the next, tackling games like missions to be completed. In any case, keep up the good work and have a happy holiday. Love and respect to Zach, the most erotic ally.
Billy Jack.
Yeah, I was amazed they didn't bring up Billy Jack.
I know. I'm shocked. I was waiting for it, Isla.
Yeah. I think I found their Twitch, but since they didn't mention it, maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you could find it, then they have the name, and
Yeah.
somebody else could find it just as easily, hopefully.
I'm happy with my gaming habits. I get to play what I want to play like 75% of the time,
Most of
I'd
the
say.
time,
Yeah.
yeah.
The only thing that holds me back is I wish I could look through a window or on a monitor of what I was doing if like game trailers never happened. You know, like I wish I could just see like what, particularly the games. They'd be like, well, we can't tell you what job you have
Right.
or anything. Like, no, what game am I playing right now? And it's like, oh, Fortnite. Like, okay, I knew it. Like, oh, GTA 5. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that is a weird thing because it's like
Wait, I still
yeah,
be playing
there's
Warcraft?
This,
Like,
like,
I want.
like oh, this sense of like obligation or whatever, but it's like the sense of obligation has like gotten me to play a whole lot of games I would have never touched.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's like it's kind of it's funny because like even people knowing me as like this racing game guy, it's like most of those racing games that I've reviewed, I probably would have never picked up if I hadn't been reviewing them. You know, it's such a weird thing. Like, Gran Turismo never appealed to me.
I don't think I
You
would
know?
have played a Call of Duty in a long time if I didn't have to review those 2 games.
Yeah.
But you way back in the day. You
Yeah,
played
but I
so
just-
many of the originals.
I just don't care anymore, though.
Yeah. After Modern Warfare, 1 or 2,
One.
you were probably out.
Yeah, one was the last one for me. But yeah, I mean, I get to play a lot of stuff I still want to, and luckily we get to pick a lot of the games we want to review too.
Oh, sure.
So that helps a lot.
That helps. Yeah,
Like
we're
I'm not
like,
getting to sign some like
True.
2 out of 10
Yeah, true.
random game where I'm like, oh,
Well, it's not like slamming car doors. Like, you're reviewing the game,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah. We get to pick, and so it's like if someone's doing a lot of reviews for a game row, it's like they probably wanted to do it.
Yeah. Once in a while, you'll get the odd review where it's like, shit.
Well, you do the review, you're like fill in or something like
Yeah,
that, or
yeah.
like, we got this is too big to ignore kind of thing.
And that's what I hear from a lot of people. They're like, use the scale, man. You know, review like the lower game. Like, you don't want to go below
Watch-
5. You don't
I
want those
mean,
games. You don't want to do that. You don't have a job where you have to do that.
Battle in Wonderworld this
Right.
year. I gave
That
that like
was
a
a-
4 something. I
Yeah,
think.
that was a hugely
Using the scale.
not
Well, it was
anticipated,
weird
but it was a big game and it was a bad one.
Because I did the Hua. I
Fast and
reviewed that, and
Furious.
I gave that probably the lowest score anyone has because it was just like, this is really pretty, but I'm not feeling.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling anything out of this, and I'm sorry that it's a small indie game that I gave a low score to, but
Yeah.
it just felt like I was just going through the motions.
Yeah, like we're not gonna seek out some Steam shovelware just so we can give it a game 2.
low
You know, it
score.
has to be
Right.
like something at least a little bit anticipated.
Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to review Battle in Wonderworld.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm curious about this
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's just bad.
The lowest score at Easy Allies was given by Hubert.
That's right.
To Fast Furious?
Probably.
No.
Umbrella Corps?
Umbrella Corps.
Oh,
Nice.
Cool.
But that was on stars, so it was
1.5?
star. 1 star.
1 star. Yeah,
Ben,
right.
Ben gave Fallout 76
Yeah.
a 2.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
That was such a fun script to read.
A
Oh,
2.
God.
No, that's so good.
I think I reread that last paragraph like 8 times.
All
I
the
was just like,
bad
I really
ones-
want to get this.
I've edited all the bad all the bad
bet you did.
ones. 'Cause
Dominic
I
Toretto.
love editing the bad ones.
Yep.
It's like my favorite. Yeah, Fast and Furious Crossroads is a 4. Hubert.
Dominic Toretto.
A 4, you say?
4, yeah.
Wow.
Because you know you could drive around and it worked.
Yeah.
I know people that really like
People
that
don't
game
think
a
the
lot.
5, 4, 3, 2 that there's anything to quantify it. There is. You'd be
Yeah.
surprised
Yeah.
how
There
much
is.
you can strip away from any video game. Now, this couldn't get worse. Oh yes,
Oh,
it
it
could.
could. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, in terms of habits, it's really, to me, it's just, I just have a hard time finding time to play or again, like getting myself in that headspace.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like if it's noon or 1 o'clock, even if I have a review, it's like, well, there's a lot of other things I need to get done right now.
Right.
So it's hard for me to like actually get into it before like 10 p.m. or something.
Yeah. It's only a matter of time before I play like 50% less video games because the bulk of my gaming time is like the middle of the night. You know, I stay up late, play some games then. I don't know how much longer I can do that.
I think the main thing that does make me a little sad, just because it's like it's the brass ring so far out of our reach, we'll never ever get there. Is like New World, like Destiny 2, Sea of Thieves, Isla, like these series
Yeah.
that it's like if you only play that game
Yeah.
for a year, the full year.
Expert.
You must have, well, not only you're good at the game and you understand what's going on, but like just your impressions. Like I would so much be interested in that person. It's like watch specialty streamers, people that only play a specific type of game, and we're just never gonna. It's impossible. Like we wouldn't. We just can't do. We get to cover a lot of games that people don't get to cover, and that's like kind of the flip side of the coin for me. It's just like I'll never really know what it's like. You know, to have been playing Warcraft this whole time, or you know, to have been in Realm Reborn from day one. You know, you're like, I've just been every day I play that game. From Sage Mode Q. My question is involving your guys' favorite video game spin-offs. As I'm working my way through Lost Judgment, I've come to the conclusion that the Judgment series has quickly become one of my favorite spin-offs in recent memory, maybe ever. They're basically Yakuza games just without the name. Any other fave spin-offs the Allies can think of? Spin-off.
Persona.
I mean, what other spin-off do you
Persona.
want other than Metroid Prime Pinball?
Yeah.
Right.
Persona's a good spinoff.
Would you consider Prime a spinoff? I mean, it's not. It's like part
I
of
mean,
the main
it
series,
kind of
but it's
is.
so
It basically
different.
is, but it's weird because it's like they fit it into the timeline, but it doesn't seem to have all that much connection to anything else.
Yeah.
It's all sort of self-contained, and definitely none of the other games reference it, which is really weird. They did put the fusion suit as in Prime. You unlock it.
Oh.
Dead Space Extraction.
Whoa.
The light gun game.
Yeah.
Game's sick.
Does Mario Kart count?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Mario is like
Mario,
you
yeah.
forget
Mario
that.
Party,
That's
yeah.
technically all of those
Rabbids,
things.
Kingdom
yeah.
Battle,
Yeah.
like that one was sick.
All of
Yeah.
it. Mario RPG. It's all spin-offs. Final
Ooh,
Fantasy
Revelations, dude.
13, 2, and 3.
Damiani's
Are those
not
like
here. Got to throw
Yeah,
Revengeance
yeah,
out
yeah.
there.
Okay.
Oh, Revenge.
Oh,
Shout
yeah,
out to
that's
Revengeance
Revengeance,
for sure.
yeah,
That is
wow.
a spin off.
sure is.
Holy cow.
Revelations, UB.
Yeah, that one's weird because it feels like mainline to me, you know?
Yeah.
It's like Code Veronica is like, is
Yeah.
Code Veronica a spin-off? But I get that, yeah. Revelations kind of, yeah.
Not
If it
intended
ain't
to be,
numbered.
but like PT is now officially a Silent Hill spin-off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, or a main entry, depending on how you count them.
Yeah, time will tell. Let's wrap up podcasts for the year. What do you say?
All right.
But we got to know who's going to win it. And in order to know that, we got to do our wars.
Oh shit.
I'll be home for Christmas. You can count on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and
Wars.
Who wants to go first?
Isla's going first.
Oh, God. It kills me that you get to sing.
Nobody said
Nobody said anything.
Nobody said.
Nobody said anything.
Yeah, I'll go.
Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield?
Andrew Garfield.
Why?
Because Tobey Maguire is rumored to be kind of a bastard.
Oh, well, there you go.
Really?
Kind of hard to work
I mean,
with.
it's a rumor.
With that
Yeah.
dance?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know the guy.
It's a rumor.
Who's next?
The
Me.
character of Michael Cera in Molly's game, I think, who is like a asshole, is
Oh, because Tobey Maguire is
reportedly
a poker
based,
player. That's right.
reportedly based on Tobey Maguire.
All right, Brad. Sonic Frontiers or Pokemon Arceus?
Sonic Frontiers, because I haven't seen screenshots yet in game, so I don't know if it's gonna look terrible or be bad.
Ooh, that's a solid answer.
Albie.
Cocoa Pebbles or Fruity Pebbles?
Cocoa Pebbles.
Why?
Because I think it's just a little bit more like what you're expecting. Like Fruity Pebbles, I'm not sure what that flavor is.
Fair?
Yeah.
Fair?
I'm not really sure how to place it. It's its own
Yeah.
bizarro, artificial-y thing.
Michael Huber,
Yo.
2020 or 2021?
2021 because I got two of my favorite franchises, Resident Evil and Life is Strange.
Yay!
And man. January, all the way back in January.
Brad, you killed me with that reply. It's really good. That's really good. You will wrap up this podcast in a
okay.
second because I want to say one last thing for the year about patreon.com/easyallies. This might be a little sharp. This might sound like it's got a little edge on it, but I just want to make somebody aware of things. You could be listening to this podcast on Sunday. You could have listened to this podcast on Sunday throughout the entire year. Just showed up, hanging out with your Easy Allies friends, listening to that podcast. While you were doing that, possibly not going to patreon.com/easyallies, not giving $1 more at patreon.com/easyallies. Other people were. 7,000 plus patrons were supporting us throughout this entire year and for almost 6 years of operation. So I just want to say thank you to all of those patrons. And you as the viewer, who maybe just been enjoying the free ride this whole time, let me say thank you as well to these wonderful people who have supported us and helped us provide all this wonderful free content, which we do a fair amount of. But if you want to support us on Patreon, that would be a nice thing to do too. We have a shout out tier, the very top. Talk about thank yous. Ooh. Shout out to our top patrons: Caleb Togi Crawford, Christian Semniak, El Fanis, Greg the Dark Knight Kettering, and Nick. Shout out.
Almost jumped the gun there.
Brad, you get to promote any Easy Allies video you'd like to promote. You get the final word on anything you've disagreed with, want to reiterate, or just popped into your head for the year. And you get to sign off.
I want to do something a little different, though. Jones, I want you to close it out. This is your podcast, man. You work hard on the podcast every week. And I want to give it to you, man. I want you to do it. All right. I want you to take us to 2022. All right.
Still one more 2021 episode, but yeah.
Still the same, though. I want you to carry us to 2022.
Yeah, feels good. Wait, am I doing all of it?
Yeah, all of it.
I've been gifted.
All of it, yeah.
Give me
Merry
a Christmas
Christmas.
present, thank you.
Filthy animal.
How am I getting? How am I going to open this? Okay. Easy Allies video I'd like to promote. Let me go to... Boy, I was not prepared at all. I knew I wasn't going to take either or, so I didn't even prep one. Oh, and I got to do the or. I always forget to do the or when I'm out. Oh, I got to do that now. I guess we'll do it right now. I did this. Okay. Okay. We'll do it one more. Bossman got mad at me.
Oh, okay.
This is the way we prefer to do this,
close
right?
it as well.
Yeah,
You're
right.
supposed to close it,
We haven't officially done the closing yet, so this is all still in the Or Wars
Okay.
time code. I'll be home for Christmas. You can count on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and
Or Wars.
Cool. EasyAllies.com. Take me away. What do you got? What kind of content do we got here? Easy Allies. I'm going to go to the YouTube channel.
Can't be reached.
Google's Chrome's weird. Chrome
Couple
doesn't
new
like
secret
websites
views.
for some reason sometimes.
Yeah.
What do you use?
Oh yeah, the event of the year, folks. One of probably maybe the most important Easy Allies review of the year.
Oh shit.
That took Michael Damiani an incredibly long time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And shout out to Don Casanova who edited all this as well. There's something about reading a script and knowing I'm not going to cut it, and just like good luck with that. Wow, there's just a lot of. Don is not playing Final Fantasy XIV if you don't know this already, but Don definitely fills in because there's sometimes I'm working on something, I'm working on something. Don steps up to cut some very tough reviews, so thank you for that. Final word, I will reiterate. Thank you so much to anybody paying on Patreon or otherwise that has supported Easy Allies this year. There will be another podcast. I will be back. But that is it for our holidays. So thank you so much for supporting us. Cheers.
Because they summoned the river in the fight against the Balrog, and I'm like, that's not how magic works here, guys. Like, you can't summon a river in Moria.
Yeah.